We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry
Dean in The Worship of the Serpent, written in 1833, speaking of Apollo noted, taking of the attributes of the sun and of the serpent, united their names, and was worshipped as Apollo. Apollo, then, being the serpent's solar deity, his temples will be those in which we must look for the temples of the serpent. For though in a few instances we may find the serpent adored alone, yet in no place shall we find a serpent temple, in which the rites of the sun were not also celebrated. Nancy Thompson states in Etruscan myth, sacred history and legend that Apollo came to the Greco-Roman world from the Hurrian and Hittite divinity, Aplu. Aplu comes from the Akkadian Aplu Enlil, meaning the son of Enlil, a title that was given to the god Nergal, who was linked to Shamash, Babylonian god of the sun. John Matthews in The Winter Solstice, The Sacred Traditions of Christmas states on page 52 that, quote, in 10 BCE, Caesar Augustus replaced Sol with Apollo and the Roman synthesis adopted December 25 to coincide with the solar deity throughout the empire. The Pythia was the priestess at the temple of Apollo at Delphi. The name Pythia is derived from Pytho, which in myth was the original name of Delphi. The Greeks derived this place name from the verb pythian to rot, used of the decomposition of the body of the monstrous serpent Python after she was slain by Apollo. Thus Apollo's temple was associated with the serpent god Python, and its well-known snake the python. It was this very spirit, observed in the practice of solstice worship, that Paul encountered and cast out of a woman as a demon in Acts chapter 16 verse 16 through 18. Quote, and it came to pass in our going on to prayer, a certain maid, having a spirit of Python, did meet us, who brought much employment to her masters by soothsaying. She having followed Paul and us, was crying, saying, these men are servants of the Most High God. But Paul having been grieved, and having turned, said to the spirit, I command thee, in the name of Yeshua Messiah, to come forth from her. And it came forth the same hour. When Constantine created this new Roman synthesis religion, which is called Roman Catholicism today, he merged concepts from the New Testament tradition along with the worship of Apollo, literally mixing the two into one. Gibbons, in The Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire, explained that Emperor Saint Constantine refused the request by Christians to abolish the December 25th festival celebrating the birth of the sun god, and instead erected a statue of Apollo in Constantinople with his own face superimposed on the statue. He continued a very active life as a pagan, complete with sacrifices to Apollo after his conversion, was not baptized until his deathbed, and minted coins after the Nicene Council displaying himself as Apollo. Constantine built the first church building ever built from the ground up to be a Christian church. The building was originally called the Hagia Sophia after a syncretistic writing found in the Nag Hammadi library in Egypt. Constantine had the actual serpent's column from Apollo's temple in Delphi relocated and placed right outside his church. The This church was called the Mega Ecclesia, and is the historical origin of our mega church movement today in America, which actually uses the very same word coined by Apollo worshipping Constantine to describe it. In case you still don't believe Constantine was synthesizing Apollo as Christ, he made it unmistakably clear on the dedication day of the Hagia Sophia, whereupon at the building's opening dedication, he read this prophecy from Virgil's Eclogue. Now the last age by Cummy's Sibyl sung has come and gone, and the majestic roll of circling centuries begins anew. Justice returns old Saturn's reign, with a new breed of men sent down from heaven. Only do thou, at the boy's birth in whom the iron shall cease, the golden race arise, befriend him, chaste Lucina, 'tis thine own, Apollo, reigns. The serpent's column from the temple of Apollo is placed directly in front of the Mega Ecclesia.
I'm pure and virtuous and wholesome and innocent. How can you say anything bad about me?
Sir, you need to be born again.
I am born again.
Now, did you just say that you were Lucifer?
I am Lucifer.
Most snakes, like this Cape Cobra, move in a serpentine way.